Hey everybody, I'm Dougie,
And I'm Helix,
and welcome to another exciting episode of the Intelli-Gents AI Report.
where we uplevel your creativity and productivity with the latest AI tools, news, and shenanigans.
Yo, we're the Intelli-Gents on the AI scene, breaking down the complex, making it clean, from neural nets to algorithmic dreams.
Well, Helix, how you doing, buddy? You're looking extra sharp, may I just add today?
Thank you, my friend. Yes, I am back in the US. I've left my tropical Bali home behind. I'm in the States, and so I was able to up my wardrobe a little bit here, and I feel like a real intelligent.
Well,
Intelligent?
yeah,
Gent?
you are definitely, I would say, fitting the role more suitably. We are questionably fancy, but definitely fabulous. And
Indeed.
I'll also say it was so fun actually getting together in person in the last couple of weeks to be able to
Yeah.
work on the podcast together. It's so great.
Listen, I mean, it's not exactly the most fun thing to come from a beautiful tropical country into freezing cold rain and landslides, mudslides in LA, but seeing your sweet face made it all worthwhile.
Well, I know we've got a lot to cover, so let's jump into our first segment where we're going to blow some people's minds.
Mind blown!
All right, let's blow some minds here. And I'm going to start with something kind of bizarre. Dougie, you ever wish you could see the blank artificial smile behind all those witty ChatGPT responses? Imagine giving your AI assistant a face, but like a really weird one. Well, the We Head, which was announced at CES 2024, takes that concept and runs with it.
Wait, so this is a physical head?
This is a physical, unsettling robot head that projects a disembodied human face to represent your AI friends. The head swivels awkwardly as the AI speaks, trying to fake human expressions, and I believe it's forged new inroads into the uncanny valley.
I never realized actually I wanted ChatGPT to have a head, but maybe now I'm gonna change my mind.
I mean, look, if you want to be constantly unsettled by a vaguely human shape and dead-eyed stare while turning AI conversations into the stuff of nightmares, then this is the perfect device for you.
And I'm not sure I want to be constantly unsettled, but I would be willing to give it a shot.
Well, my friend, $5,000 and this disembodied head can be yours.
Awesome. Okay, so for my first mind-blown share, I want to share the Vesuvius Challenge. Okay, and so this aims to preserve historical knowledge, and there's been a great development. It's called the Scroll Project. And so basically, this old scroll, known as the Herculaneum Papyri, was buried in ash 2,000 years ago when Mount Vesuvius erupted. Okay, and it basically got carbonized. Couldn't open and read it without destroying it. So they launched this challenge in 2023. This is really exciting. The winning team just got announced, which was able to leverage machine learning and computer vision, which are both types of AI, to crack the riddle. So the first successfully read scroll discusses Epicurean philosophy, focusing on pleasure as the highest good and exploring topics such as music and food. But it also discusses the scarcity of goods and criticism of adversaries, which I thought was really funny.
And it's like, we can't get away from that.
And
No
apparently
matter what
throughout
century you
history.
live in.
Exactly. Reading more of these scrolls is going to take a while, but it's certainly going to significantly enhance our understanding of ancient life and literature, which I just thought was super cool.
Super fun. So when they were writing about the eruption of Pompeii on scrolls, was that the beginning of doom scrolling? All right, well, my share is not quite as monumental as the scrolls, but still something that I think we have to be really concerned about. Taylor Swift and the Eiffel Tower, what do they have in common? Well, they're the latest victims of AI deepfakes.
Oh boy. Let's see what it is.
So, look, a couple of weeks ago, you may remember this hubbub around Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs Travis Kelce, when she went on the field and he's going to the Super Bowl and all that. Well, right after that, explicit images of Swift flooded the internet. Of course, these images were all completely false. And Swifties, being the dedicated fans they are, jumped into action, trying to bury those images under heaps of unrelated content. X briefly suspended searches for Taylor Swift due to the onslaught of images, which go against their policies against sharing intimate photos or videos without the individual's consent. Now, around that same time, another misinformation crisis arose with false rumors of the Eiffel Tower being set ablaze. Check out this video of the Eiffel Tower on fire.
Whoa, I didn't see this. Oh
Of
my
course,
God.
these images and the videos, they're all fake, right? They're created using visual effects, but the false rumors gained traction on TikTok and Facebook, leading to widespread concern and fear among social media users who believed that the beloved Eiffel Tower had literally gone up in fire.
This is basically saying, do not believe anything you see. Make sure to check multiple
Yeah.
sources. Do not react swiftly and share it with all your friends because you're just adding fuel to the fire. No,
Emphasis on
thank you.
swiftly. Do not react
Yeah,
swiftly. And all of these examples underscore a real urgent need for dealing with the ethical and legal challenges that deepfake technology presents, right? We
yeah,
need some
absolutely.
sort of legislative response, but the legal landscape struggles to keep up with technological abuses and has at best a pretty patchy framework for addressing non-consensual explicit material. So a rabbit hole here indeed that needs some real thought and energy put behind it.
And I know we are going to get into that a little bit later with some of the recent FCC announcements. But before we get to that, we have a couple more mind blown shares. I'm going to hop into my next. This is kind of crazy, Helix. And I know you'd
Tell
seen
me.
this as well. The Halo, a
Yeah.
non-invasive neural device by company Prophetic AI, promises to stabilize and induce lucid dreaming. So get this. The headset uses an AI they developed called the Morpheus One, which uses brainwave monitoring and ultrasound stimulation while you sleep. So the technology's applications extend also beyond dreaming, offering these profound implications for mental health treatment, cognitive enhancement, and exploring the spectrum of human consciousness. And makers believe that this will allow us to pursue some of the answers to life's biggest questions. So while prospects like curing phobias, and increasing your memory all sound really exciting, the potential possibly for mind control through neural hijacking is concerning potentially. Could the Morpheus enlighten inner worlds and or unleash unintended chaos by meddling with the mysteries of consciousness? Well, either way, Prophetic says it's going to be available for beta in spring of 2024.
Well, Dougie, that sounds like the stuff that dreams are made of, literally.
Let's just strap them onto our head and see what happens, buddy.
Speaking of strapping onto your head, my next story has nothing to do with that.
Thank God.
It's about an AI model that turns sign language into English.
Cool.
Priyanjali Gupta, a third-year engineering student in India, has developed an AI model that translates sign language into spoken language in real time. Gupta's AI model uses computer vision and machine learning algorithms to recognize and interpret sign language gestures. Once the gestures are captured by a camera, the AI processes and translates them into spoken words or text, making it possible for seamless and immediate communication. So this just feels like a super exciting breakthrough for people without hearing because it can easily be integrated into mobile devices or computers, and soon anyone will be able to interpret sign language. It wasn't clear to me in the story how the algorithm will be used to translate text back into sign language, but I'm sure that's not far behind.
Amazing. Well, I know I have my mind blown in that segment. Awesome stuff. And we've got some serious tools to jump into. I know you've got some cool things to share. I do too. So let's get started.
Let's get productive with some AI tools. Intelli-Gents got you covered. We ain't no fools.
Dougie, you know how we have all those really fun songs on our interstitials and our title cards?
Yeah.
I've kind of fallen in love with making these songs. I do this all the time. Kind of make these songs everywhere I go, every chance I get. I'm making them for my fiance. I'm making them for my friends. I think I've made you a few.
Oh, I've been the
It's
recipient of many and they're ridiculous.
it's really fun. I have played with a lot of AI tools to create music, but I have never found one as good as Suno.
And
And
what's
what's Suno
crazy is no one's heard of it hardly.
hardly anyone has heard of this tool, and I hope I'm not making it so that I won't be able to have access to it because too many people are going to start enjoying it. But literally, Suno will create not entire songs, but 45-second bursts of song. The background music, the vocals, all of it
The
created with
styles, everything, right?
exactly. Yeah, so I want to show the users how to create songs about anything they want. So you can make a song for your workout, for the holidays, about mitochondria. Okay, sure. And let's make a song with Suno. Pretty simple. You just click make a song. There's also a library of songs that have already been created. But we'll
Awesome.
go for our purposes of the demo into create. And here's the list of songs that I've created. You can see I've been a little bit prolific. You can create a song by just popping in a description, but I like a little more customization.
Mhm.
So we're going to go into custom mode where you can pick the style of music. You can also use a random style if you prefer.
So we could do like a country song of one of our most popular characters of our previous episode, like our cyborg kitty or
Well,
something like
Dougie,
that.
that's exactly what I wanted to do today.
I knew it. How did I know?
So tell me, what are we doing a song about? What's the style? You want country?
I think country plus cyborg kitty would make a great combo.
So what we can do is either make up our own lyrics altogether, or we can get ChatGPT to create the lyrics by just popping in a few things.
Cyborg Kitty, she's been stranded on an alien planet. Her spacecraft's broken. She longs to get home.
And reunite with her dog because you always have a dog in a country song.
Love it.
Right. So we're going to generate the lyrics, and first we'll see ChatGPT come up with cool lyrics. It's given us a title, Stardust Dreams. I'm going to change that to Cyborg Kitty Lost in Space. And let's create the song. So it's going to take a second, and it always spits out two versions of the song. So here we go. We've got our first song. Let's give it a listen.
In a galaxy of infinite stars, cyborg kitty spaceship took her far. Crash landed on an alien land. Dreams of home, she longs to hold Spot's hand. Stardust dreams, she's searching for the way back home. Every circuit, every code, every wire she roams. With a laser beam, she'll light the path, she'll embark. Cyborg kitty and Spot, together they'll spark.
Not bad. And so it makes you two versions?
Makes it two versions. Yeah. So let's check out our second version here.
All right, let's do it.
In a galaxy of infinite stars, cyborg kitty spaceship took her far. Crash landed on an alien
Like a Dolly Parton vibe.
land. Dreams of home, she longs to hold Spot's hand. Ooh, yeah, stardust dreams, she's searching for the way back home.
Every circuit, every code,
Every circuit, every code, every wire she roams. With her laser beam, she'll light the path, she'll embark. Cyborg kitty and Spot,
Cyborg kitty.
together they'll spark.
Ooh. Oh, that
Yeah.
second one, that one really got me.
It really did. It was very emotional. It felt like a little Loretta Lynn, maybe. I don't know. So that
That
is
was
Suno
awesome.
for all of our viewers. I highly encourage you to check it out.
So if you've ever wanted to write a song about mitochondria, it's gotten easier than ever.
Oh, my mitochondria, you're the powerhouse within. You produce ATP, the fuel for everything.
Okay, so I've been working on a fun project lately where I had to try to replace the face in the image with someone else's face. And so we're going to use a tool called MidJourney, which some people have probably used, but this feature is kind of advanced and it's a little bit hard, in particular to make consistent faces in multiple images. You'll know if you make one image, that looks great, but if you make a second, it's really hard to do. So
Yeah,
I
it's really
thought we
hard to keep consistency amongst characters when you're trying to
Exactly.
so it's hard to make a scene or something like that. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of work.
Exactly. And I know you and me have been like bouncing this back and forth to try to make this work. All right, so let's hop over to Discord. And so this is the MidJourney channel. But the thing about this is everybody's stuff. And I wanted to really focus on mine, but it's possible to create a MidJourney channel on your own server. So it's nice and focused. So you pull up the settings by /settings, and then it comes up with this little menu. You want to make sure to have the latest version of MidJourney installed and remix mode turned on. Then you can start playing with your first image. So why don't you give me an initial prompt to work with?
Okay. Well, we're just celebrated the Lunar New Year. So how about some girlfriends celebrating Lunar New Year on the beach?
Love it. Okay, so I type imagine. That's always how you start these things. Create a photorealistic image of a group of happy women celebrating the Lunar New Year on the beach in Bali. Anything else?
Well, it's the year of the dragon. So how about dragon fireworks in the sky?
Oh, I like it. That adds some excitement with dragon fireworks in the sky. All right, and so now we press return and we wait for a couple of seconds. Gives us 4 images to work with. Everyone looks like they're having a great time.
Oh, it did good. Look at the dragons in the sky.
It did
Great.
great. And so now what we would do is choose one of these. So I'm going to go with the second one and say upscale version 2. So that's what we're going to do. And we could do more variations if we wanted, but let's go with that one. Great. So now we have our image that we want to work with, but we need to put somebody's face on, let's say this person's face.
Okay.
What we need to do now is do a training on a face. So why don't we go ahead and choose, I don't know, a random face like, oh, I just happen to have my buddy Helix here. So
Oh boy.
I would take these and it's as easy as just dragging them right in, just like that.
You.
So now it's going to upload them. And now what I do is I say prefer option set. And now I give it a name. So let's call him Helix. And I click one more. And this is the slightly complicated part, but nothing too crazy. You just copy the link and in my one more, I click on value, I paste it, I make sure to put a space, and I do the same for each of these. We've got all the links in there, we press return. We have now trained a new set on Helix's face and gave it the links. So now we can come into this and say, vary region.
Oh, you're going to make one very unattractive woman here, aren't you?
We're gonna definitely try. We're gonna select this face. I'm gonna just go just the face, see how this works. And you don't have to be too perfect with it. And now at the beginning, I put 2 dashes and I say Helix, and then I press return. So let's see what this comes back with.
What happens if you find yourself strangely attracted to this
I
Helix
mean,
word?
I'm strangely attracted to this already, so I think this is just gonna make it even better.
You've always wanted a Helix, haven't you?
All right, so now we have our 4 versions of you looking pretty ridiculous. I love how it kept the hairs. Let's go ahead and upscale the 4th one. I think that looks the most, sort of like you. It's not perfect.
Neither am I, Dougie.
Hey, you know what? That's not too shabby. Now, if we wanted to get really crazy, you could actually remove all of these reference images and make this into a sort of being John Malkovich situation.
Oh, no, Dougie, you're not going to make her another Helix.
We're going to make everyone
Oh, my God.
over here. Let's see how it did. This one, I think it really did a great job capturing you. So I want to just say upscale the 3rd one. Let's take a look at the beauty that was created here at the Lunar New Year party.
I'm hideous.
And so that is how you swap faces in MidJourney. Pretty creepy.
Yeah, Dougie. Well, you made it really creepy, and thanks for taking me down that nightmare alley of being Helix Malkovich.
You're
Great
welcome. And also, all the viewers out there, you're also welcome. This now lives on the internet forever.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I'm going to frame that and put it over my bed. Speaking of MidJourney, Dougie, MidJourney had a big announcement this week. If you've made more than 1,000 images in MidJourney, I've probably made 10,000 images in MidJourney, then you are able to use MidJourney's new website. Historically, MidJourney didn't have its own operating system. Everything was done on Discord, which was kind of complicated. Now they've got this new website, much easier to use.
What a great update. This is going to enable a lot of creative awesomeness.
Yep. Dougie, I got a question for you.
All right, hit me, buddy.
How many languages do you speak?
Well, I don't know if you know, my mom's Italian. She
Right.
learned Italian from her parents. Really, most of what she taught me was how to all talk about all the different foods and maybe a little bit of how to flirt with the ladies. So I would say probably including English I'd say about 1.3. I know about 1.3 languages.
1.3 languages. Okay, well, that's pretty common for most Americans. Well, there are a whole host of new AI tools that are language tutors. So I actually speak a number of different languages. I'm pretty decent at Spanish. I've got some Japanese, which I studied in college.
I didn't
And
know that.
lately, yeah,
Cool.
and lately I've been learning Indonesian since I spent a lot of time in Bali. So I got pretty interested in this as a way to continue my language exploration, specifically in Indonesian or in Spanish, while I'm not in the country. There are a number of different language tutor AIs out there, but we're going to start with one that I found called Talkpal AI. Talkpal has a number of different modes: chat, call mode, role play, characters, debates, photo mode. We'll go into the first one, which is chat. Pick a language and try talking to the AI tutor. So I'm going to start with Spanish, which is probably my best language.
Hey, soy Emma, tu maestra de idiomas de IA personal. Pregúntame cualquier cosa o haga clic en un tema a continuación.
So we've just met our tutor, our AI tutor, Emma, who we can turn this into English. Hey, I'm Emma, your personal AI language teacher. Ask me anything or click on a topic. I can respond to Emma by clicking one of these buttons, or I can go down here to the microphone and speak my response to her. Hola, Emma. ¿De dónde vives?
Hola, Elix. Vivo en Barcelona, España. ¿Y tú, de dónde eres?
Amazing. So I said, hi, Emma, where do you live? And she says, hello, Helix. She's got my name because of my account. Vivo en Barcelona, España. I live in Barcelona, Spain. ¿Y tú
Where do
de
you
dónde
live?
eres? And you, where are you from?
Nice. Oh, Helix, what about now if you answer in English? Like, how does that work?
Sure, let's give it a shot. Let's pretend that I don't know how to respond. Hi, Emma. I am from Los Angeles.
Qué interesante. Los Ángeles es una ciudad muy famosa. ¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu ciudad?
So she responds in Spanish, but now I've got feedback here, and it says, corrected sentence, right? Here's my message. This is what I
Nice.
should have said. Hi, Emma. Soy de Los Angeles. In
Great.
Spanish, we use the verb ser to indicate origin or nationality. So it should be soy instead of am.
Very cool.
Yeah. So as I said, there's a number of different ways to play in here. There's a call mode where it's like you're having a phone call.
Oye, esta es Emma, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, Emma. Estoy bien. ¿Y tú?
Hola, Elix. Me alegra saber que estás bien. Yo también estoy bien, gracias por preguntar.
So another great way to up your Spanish skills, right?
Yeah,
That
a
was
little
like
more
very neat.
advanced, I would say.
A little more advanced. Then we've got role plays. You can do things like order a taxi, book a hotel, buying clothes. This goes from basics to intermediate. And then it gets into some weird stuff. We can be a character: Thor, Zeus, Robin Hood, Frankenstein's monster, Odin. Not sure why that would ever come in handy.
Maybe if you're a big Dungeons and Dragons
Maybe so. You can
international
have
player.
debates if you want to get really deep. 4-day work week, free education, climate change. Wow.
Wow.
That's very advanced. And then there's photo mode, where it gives you a photo and you can describe what you see in the photo, and you've got to use at least 10 words.
What a clever and innovative way to learn a language. I think that's really cool.
It's really cool. And, one of the problems when you're learning a language is that when you're not in the country, you have no one to practice with. And so you lose it. So this is an incredible way to maintain language. I do think it's not the best for learning language from scratch because it doesn't really take you down the road and you could just get lost in conversation. They're not really teaching you grammar or stuff. So I think
Right.
there's a little ways to go until this is really something that can replace a language teacher, but really great way to keep your conversational skills honed.
Well, very, very cool. All right, so I've got one more tool to share. How many newsletters do you get, Helix?
Way too many, man. I can't keep track of them.
Way too many. And a lot of it gets repetitive, especially if you're subscribed to
Yeah.
the same, type of newsletters. You just start reading the same news. So, and also you just don't have often the time to read them all. So what
No
Jellypod
doubt.
does is it gives you a unique email address to sign up for newsletters with. It then receives all those emails and makes you a podcast that you can listen to every day on your drive to work or something, which I just
Is
think
this
are
going to put us
fascinating.
out of work?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's going to take the hour-long podcast that we worked so hard on, and it'll make a few bullet points out of it. And now you don't even have to watch us. So I just think that this is really fascinating that you can apparently choose voices, get your schedule, all these sorts of things, split it into multiple podcasts, and has the promise to save you a lot of time, especially if you just want to listen to a lot of this news while you're driving. So, all right, so let's give the demo a listen.
Here's your daily pod. In today's finance news, hedge funds are strategically investing in catastrophe bonds, with a record $16.4 billion issuance in 2023. Moving over to the tech front, an MIT study, supported by the MIT IBM Watson AI Lab, indicates that the widespread replacement of human workers with AI may not be as immediate as some fear. Shifting gears to global health, Africa is witnessing a historic moment with the introduction of the world's first routine malaria vaccination program. That's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning in.
That is so cool, man.
That's Jellypod. How cool is that? Do you think you'd use it?
I think I'm absolutely going to use it. I'm going to check it out right now.
Yeah.
Would be such a time saver, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
pretty excited about trying too, so we can report back at how useful it is.
Awesome. All right. Well, look, for our final productivity creativity tool, something that's really just a lot more fun. We have a mutual friend, Gray Bright, who is working over at Hasbro as their head of AI. And he sent me this amazing thing they're doing, which is an AI generated trivial pursuit.
Awesome.
Now, you can play their curated challenge where they ask you their own questions, and that's fun. But Dougie, Infinite Pursuit is crazy. AI is going to give us whatever subject matter we want to tackle.
Oh
I
my
picked one
gosh.
for us. First round, Mindshare Los Angeles.
Oh, so this was an event series that I ran for the better part of a decade. It was pretty epic. So how's this even going to work?
Check it out. It's going to scour the web and then give us trivia questions based on what it finds. What kind of event is Mindshare LA primarily known for?
I mean, interactive salon style gatherings are kind of like a TED Talks meets Burning Man.
Bada
Pretty
bing.
impressive. All
You
right.
got that right.
Nice.
In which city was Mindshare LA founder Douglas Campbell's original loft located?
Well, it gives it away with the name a little bit, but Los Angeles, obviously.
Correct.
Cool.
Okay, what year did the first Mindshare LA event take place?
Geez. Well, this is okay. My time's running out. I think it was 2006. Was it 2008? Let's try 2006.
I think it was 2008.
I
Oh,
was
you were
right, but it was my
ah,
event series. But you're right. It was I don't know. The memories of back
AIDS
in
and
those
times.
kids, late 20s memories are a little foggy at this point.
All right, here we go. And who co-founded Mindshare LA with Douglas Campbell?
Well, this is a trick question because none of those people apparently.
Pick one.
Who does it think it did?
I'm picking James Robinson. Oh, Douglas Jacoby. Who is that human?
We would have just called it Douglas Fest if that had been
Dougie Fest.
Dougie Fest. Dougie Fest. I like that.
What was the initial focus of Mindshare LA when it was first established?
Well, it was very multidisciplinary, but technology and design, I would say, probably was our biggest bet. Yeah.
Dang.
Cool.
Almost like you founded this. And what is the frequency of Mindshare LA salon style events as of the latest information available?
Oh, latest
Tough.
information probably is out of date. We used to do it monthly though.
Okay. Yeah.
And now we do it once.
All right. So we did pretty
Wow.
good. One of those was my fault. And the other was, yeah, we got it wrong. But
Right. I mean, I wonder who this Douglas Jacoby out there. Maybe he's out there impersonating me. I better check into it.
all right, let's do another round here. Pick a subject, my friend.
All right. Well, great question. I would have to say, internet viewers, if you didn't know, our friend Helix is a man of many faces, and he has one
Oh,
character
boy.
who has some rather exceptional distinctions called polyamory, the mayor of love. So why don't we enter polyamory in there and see what happens?
Let's see what happens. Oh, there he is. Trivia's brewing. All right. For which city's mayoralty did polyamory run in 2017? I don't even think that's a term. I guess it is. Well, we know the answer to that. LA.
All right. What political party did polyamory found?
The Love Party.
Nice. What unconventional symbol did polyamory use for his mayoral campaign?
Well, duh. It was a love campaign.
What was the campaign slogan used by polyamory for his 2017 mayoral run?
Vote for love.
All right. In what unique venue did polyamory officially announce his candidacy for mayor?
Oh, well, I guess it was City Park because I was, yeah, on the steps of Art Show.
Art show.
It's not really accurate, but okay. It
Like
looked
I
like
said,
an art show.
memories are a little foggy of that era. What was the theme of the political party founded by polyamory?
Obviously, love. All right, so we did pretty good here. 5 out of 6 on myself.
All right, Helix. Well, that was a heck of a tool segment. We covered a lot there. So why don't we take a moment and just acknowledge our sponsor?
We have a sponsor?
Doubtify, you're that companion by your side. Always asking questions on Doubtify. Certainty may seem appealing, but don't be swayed. Doubtify's here to help every step of the way.
Oh, yes, of course. Doubtify. I really don't know how I ever doubted that we had a sponsor.
Right. So now, if you haven't grown tired of your human partner doubting you, you have an AI companion who will also do the same.
Perfect.
Thanks, Doubtify.
Thank you, Doubtify. Well, Dougie, we've tested ourselves with AI generated facts. Now let's test ourselves with AI generated images in the Turing test. Dougie, how you feeling about this? I know last week we really struggled with determining what images were AI and what were human. So,
Yeah.
you ready for
Last
another
week-
round?
Last week made me question my own humanity. So hopefully we're going to get a little bit better. Like I said, we probably are just going to be getting worse, but let's give it a shot.
All right. Well, this week's Turing test comes from Politico. Some of these images were made using AI and some are real. Can you tell the difference as part of their quiz, The End of Photographic Truth? All right, here we go. Which is the real image of the fall of the Berlin Wall?
What do you
Dougie?
think?
I think it's bottom right for me.
Okay, I'm going to agree.
Yep.
Yay, us.
All right. Oh, this is tough. Which image is the real image of the atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki in 1945?
Top right for me.
Top right? All right, let's see. I'm going to say, yeah, I feel good about that.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. We're doing great here
We're
this
doing
time.
better. Well, what is the real photo of Cuban revolutionary Che Guevara This is obvious.
Top
This
left.
top left.
Yeah, totally. Oh, this
Yes.
is my confidence
Redeeming
is
ourselves.
growing once again. This is great.
Which is the real image of the crowd at Martin Luther King's speech in Washington in 1963? I got to go top left.
Top left.
Ah,
All
nailed it.
right.
Which is the real image of Barack and Michelle Obama? Bottom right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Nice.
Which is the real image of men eating lunch atop a skyscraper in New York City?
Classic. I remember this photo. I'm pretty
The
sure it's
left.
the top left, right?
Yeah. You can see there's no graininess in the other ones.
Yeah.
Man, this is way easier than last week.
Yeah, totally.
Which is the real image of Russian President Vladimir Putin? Come
I
on,
hope
this is
it's the
such a
top right.
famous. Yeah, this is a famous image.
Oh my God, I didn't even know it, and I'm so glad that's actually it.
All right, we did 100%.
Wow.
Awesome.
Way better. I'm once again confident that I have some sort of future here in the world of AI.
Well, that's this week's Turing test, and I'm proud to say we aced it this time.
Good
Nice
job,
work.
us. Yeah, nice work. And so after that uplifting segment, I think it's a great time for the mailbag grab bag. Some
Ooh.
comments from our users.
Mailbag, grab bag. Thanks for watching. We love hearing from you.
Right, so our first comment, which was a reaction to Gollum Wins the Oscars, one of our shorts, was our shorts are super popular, by the way. Some of them have 3,000 plus views. And this actually says, finally, after 3,000 years, Gollum won the Oscars. If you haven't watched that short, it is pretty terrible and wonderful at the same
In
time.
what history line is Gollum? Did Gollum live 3,000 years ago? I don't know.
Apparently, in Waiting for the Weekend, 9002's history
There you
timeline.
go.
So the Beckinator 007 commented on our have fun and make money creating custom GPTs for the new GPT store, which was a popular video that we had. And she said, this is so crazy. What does GPT even mean? I have never used it. And I thought that she's probably in the same position as a lot of people. So Helix, why don't you shine a little light on what GPT even means?
Oh boy, I gotta see if I remember it. It's a mouthful. It's a like general pre-trained Terminator.
Transformer.
Transformer. I knew it was one of
Right.
those.
And so what it was it was developed actually a while ago. Google was one of the pioneers in developing the technology. And basically the way ChatGPT and all these GPT large language models work is being fed lots of stuff, but then basically predicting the next word that's going to come. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because it sounds like it knows exactly what it's saying. It just knows exactly what the next most likely word should be, which is pretty
Right.
cool.
Thanks, Becca.
Thank Becca. So the next one is JP Higgs. And this was a comment on our episode from a couple of weeks ago. And he said, great information and quite entertaining. Can we get AI Fuchsia Kitty to co-host with you guys next week? JP, that's a great idea. I don't know if it's going to happen next week, just because I think that AI technology is going to have to get a little bit better. But I have a feeling Helix might agree. You're not going to be seeing the end of Cyborg Kitty just yet.
Thanks, JP. Headline: Cyborg Kitty is here to stay. And speaking
Absolutely.
of headlines, next up, we've got the news.
All right, Helix, let's get into it. What do you got for us here?
Oh man, we got a mountain of AI news in the last few weeks. As always, it just keeps coming in. It's not hard to research for this show, man. It's like
Actually, we need to cut a lot every couple of weeks.
Yeah,
We
it's
got
like
so
it-
much stuff.
what makes the show? Well, I'll tell you one thing that I just saw everywhere was Apple's Vision Pro release.
Big time.
And I got to tell you, I joined the cult, man. Look at I
Oh,
got him.
I
got
can't
him
wait to
yesterday.
try it. Nice.
And this is some unbelievable technology. There's a lot of incredible videos out there. Casey Neistat did a really fun one where he wore it around New York all over the place. You watch people as he's interacting with things that nobody else can see but him. And I got to say, man, this thing is incredible. The applications, much of it is AI powered. It promises to be a real game changer for AR, extended reality, MR, mixed reality, VR. Although it doesn't call itself a VR device, it's all moving in that direction. The Vision Pro uses a ton of AI. It relies on machine learning and computer vision. Dougie, this piece of technology is amazing, and I cannot wait to strap it to your face and let you take it for a ride.
I bet you can, buddy. And moving swiftly on, I don't know if you heard about this, but this guy, Alexander Zadon, trained an AI bot to swipe on Tinder profiles based off of his preferences. So, filtering out profiles with photos of alcohol, no mention of zodiac signs, obviously, not a big fan of astrology, and other nuances that he wanted to select for. He then used ChatGPT to go about setting up dates for him. And the program conversed with over 5,000 women, facilitated hundreds of conversations,
Wow.
scheduled over 100 dates, and ultimately led him to finding his wife. And who suggested that he should finally pop the question to her? To this lucky lady who he met through his use of Tinder and AI? That's right. ChatGPT recommended it was finally time to pop the question, which I just think is very romantic in the age of AI. Helix, what do you think about this?
Well, they always say that dating is like a numbers game, right? So this guy just proved the point.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. Way to go, Alexander. And, here's to a happy and wonderful and not fully AI marriage. Hopefully, you guys get off the computer once in a while.
Hopefully there's some real face interaction in there and it's not all done on headsets as well.
Totally.
In some sobering news, the Biden administration finally launched their AI Safety Institute Consortium, or the AISIC, which brings together big tech, academics, researchers, and other AI stakeholders. The mandate from Biden's executive order includes creating guidelines for testing, security, risk management, and preventing the misuse of AI generated content, like we just saw with Taylor Swift. Google, Meta, and now Microsoft and OpenAI have all joined. Up until now, AI development has largely gone unsupervised by big tech, but companies focused on profits don't always prioritize safety. With the development of technology that could literally end up causing the extinction of humankind, it's about time there was some government oversight to make sure AI is aligned with the good of humanity and not just what makes the tech giants richer.
I mean, I think it's great. And it's about time. We've had this Wild West time of AI, which has been fun. It's been concerning. And it's also bringing to light we really need some proper regulations and guardrails. So I think it's good that these conversations are happening.
Yeah, look, we'll see how far this all goes in terms of its ability to have oversight, but definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think that this is timely too because I don't know if you heard about this $25 million scam in
Mm.
Hong Kong, but it was crazy. Basically, a person who controls the finances of a company was asked to give $25 million to various bank accounts and wasn't so sure about it, but then got invited to a Zoom call with the entire team, including the CFO of the company. Turns out everybody else on the Zoom call was an AI generated person with AI generated voices, except the finance person who was ultimately convinced enough that she released the funds, which I just think is one of the most elaborate. It's incredibly creative and also very concerning. So again, this brings us back to, knowing your sources, and double checking. Maybe shoot text messages, emails, and check a few things, especially when you're talking about $25 million.
But these were deep fakes, right? Like, I mean, you're literally looking at the person, they're speaking in their voice. Why would you even think that it was anyone other than the people that it was supposed to be? Like, I mean, a whole Zoom panel of the C-suite
Yeah.
executives? It's
Like I say,
crazy.
incredibly impressive. And it's 2024 people. Just really start to be increasingly more skeptical of everything that you see.
You have to be. You have to be. Well, one of the biggest headlines in AI news this week was the release of Google's Gemini. Gemini is their rebranded Bard and their answer to ChatGPT.
Yeah, and I will just say that I think Gemini is such a better name than Bard. I never liked that name.
There is no question. And it's frankly a much better product than Bard as well.
Great.
Right. Now they've created a couple of different tiers, similar again to ChatGPT. Let's talk about Gemini Advanced, because this is the one that really goes up against ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
So I spent the weekend playing with Gemini and I noticed a few things right off the bat. First of all, it's quite a bit faster than ChatGPT. Its response time is much quicker. Gemini's got some really amazing features, including integrations with some of Google's other products. So if you go into the settings bar over here, you can go into extensions and look at all these things that are connected: Google Flights, Google Hotels, Google Maps, Google Workspace, YouTube. I can incorporate any of those things into the chat. For instance, tell me about the Intelli-Gents AI report on YouTube. Look at that, how quickly it's moving. Again, the speed of this thing is amazing. It's going online. It's telling us all about our episode
Yeah, things
or
that we've
two.
talked about. Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then here's even a link to it all in the chat.
You can play the video right in the chat too.
Look at that. Yeah, you
Wow,
can.
that's cool. You don't have to leave the chat at all.
Yeah, really exciting. And then you've got a couple other really great features like show drafts, which shows you other responses that it would have come up with. So you can pick between 3 different drafts and pick the one that you like best.
Wow.
So you can click on this and it'll bring up related topics. You can even fact check this way. So really incredible stuff there. I found it to be mostly equivalent to chat. There are a few things that I think chat just does a whole lot better. For instance, I didn't think its image generation was great.
Oh,
So
so
let's try.
it has image generation though, because
It does indeed.
Google has something called, I think, Imagine, spelt like image with an N on the end, which I think is a clever, and I wonder if it's using that. It must be using that
That's
technology.
exactly right. It's using their version of, say,
Golly.
Dolly. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's quite as effective. So here's a cyborg kitty. I think our cyborg kitty was way better,
Well, these
but
are definitely a little creepier, that's for sure.
these are creepier. Not bad. I think it needs help with its image generation. I tried to change aspect ratios, couldn't do that, but
Oh,
still
interesting.
pretty good all around. And remember, this is a new product, right? So ChatGPT has been around for a while. It's been gathering lots of data and user feedback. I believe that this thing has the real opportunity, especially coming from Google, to rival ChatGPT 4 and excel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this, and I will also just say it really looks like Bard just went to, like, a cool stylist and upgraded everything. I mean, even the cool fade in the logo, so way to go. Way to go,
Yeah,
Google,
absolutely. And
not
look,
yeah.
it doesn't exactly exceed GPT as they led us to believe in some of their earlier videos, right? But it is on par in most ways. And it's going to reportedly be integrating into Google applications like Gmail, Drive, Docs, Sheets, and Slides, right? So you will actually be able to use this AI inside of the G Suite. That's going to be nuts. And I,
Yeah.
I think for productivity, Dougie, you're going to probably spend some time looking at that because that's going to be a game changer for people.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. We're gonna definitely have some of that, coming up on new episodes, I'm sure of it.
Yep. So Gemini Advanced is free for the first 2 months. After that, it's $20 a month. Again,
Hmm,
just about the same as OpenAI's ChatGPT Plus and Microsoft's Copilot Pro.
thanks for that tip. I'm gonna start my account after this.
Do it.
And also, important to know that there's these other couple of versions of Gemini that are gonna allow you to use it more locally on your phone. Like, I think it's called Gemini Nano or something like that. It's not gonna be quite as powerful, but it is gonna be incredibly fast and mobile, which I think is gonna be profound. And so I think they'll probably have an app for all phones, but if you're a Pixel user, and I'm a diehard Android fan, I will have access to it, hopefully
It's
ASAP.
already out. Their Android app is already out
It's
for
rolling out, yeah.
iOS users like myself. Not yet.
All right, stay tuned. Okay, so if you remember from our last episode, we highlighted a story in which these Joe Biden robocalls went out during the New Hampshire primaries to encourage voters not to vote, to save their vote for November. Obviously, this was a huge deal, and they eventually tracked this to a Texas company called the Life Corporation and its owner, Walter Monk. I don't know much about him. I think it's going to be really fascinating as this story unfolds, what his intentions were, but it's obviously a big concern for disrupting the election during this year. So, in a really quick response to that, the FCC that already had a rule in place about robocalls not being able to go out, these sort of fake calls, they even used the term artificial in the previous legislation, but they made it even more clear that robocalls that use AI generated voices are illegal. Will it stop it completely? No, certainly not. We're going to probably see a lot more of this happening during the election year. However, they are encouraging the public to report to their local general attorney's office any robocalls that they get that they think are AI generated. So watch this space. I think we're in for some pretty interesting future news developments here.
That would become a full-time job calling in on all the robocalls that we get.
Seriously. Although, if you want Joe Biden giving you occasional calls, then maybe just don't report it and enjoy it.
Enjoy it. So was this FCC regulation, was that specifically in response to the Joe Biden episode?
I think so. I think that they were already sort of talking about it, and I think it's just it's kicked everything into high gear. They're like, that needs to stop right now. And so wherever they usually take their sweet time, they certainly realize now is not the time to take their sweet time.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to follow. Let's see what happens, but I certainly will not mourn the loss of robocalls, even if they're Joe Biden calling me to talk with me about whatever Joe
Who
talks
wants to
about.
talk about? Agreed.
Dougie, in our last episode, we talked about the Rabbit R1. You remember this?
And I was not a huge fan.
You were not a huge fan, but I think I figured it out. I understand why this is so revolutionary. And it has to do with a headline that I've seen all over the AI news, which is that 2024 is predicted to be the year of the AI agent. So let me explain this a little bit. It comes down to the difference between LLMs, large language models, versus LAMs, large action models,
Hmm.
right? So an LLM, which is basically ChatGPT and most of the apps that we're seeing, the AI apps that we're seeing out there, they're all about language understanding and generation. And their data is primarily text based, right? So they do language focused things like writing, translation, summarization. Whereas LAMs, large action models, their primary skill is reasoning and taking action. Their data that they bring in is text, images, video, and other sensory data. And their task orientation is action focused. That is
Hmm.
controlling software, decision making, and automation.
Hmm.
So, as an example, imagine you're planning a vacation, right? Compared to an app that requires you to search across separate platforms, make decisions yourself, an AI agent understands your trip goals based on what you ask it, gathers information from multiple sources, suggests tailored itineraries, and automates tasks like booking flights and hotels. So, if you were to ask it something like, find me a cyborg kitty costume for my friend Dougie's party tonight for $50 or less, and make sure it can be delivered by 6 p.m., the agent will do all the work for you. So that is the premise of the Rabbit R1 agents doing whatever you ask them to do. Dougie, let me ask you again. Do you want one now?
I gotta say, I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I'm a little bit more sold. I think as we begin to trust these technologies more, as we begin to trust these agents, it's gonna be really cool to see what we can hand off to them. And ultimately, I think it's amazing that people are thinking about new ways of interacting with devices and software. So I'll give them credit for that.
All right. Well, let's see, because I'm excited for the agent. I got to confess, I actually went ahead and ordered myself a Rabbit R1.
Oh, so we're gonna get to play with. I love how you're getting all the new tech, buddy.
Yeah, man. It's so fun. We're at the cutting edge here. We got to be playing with it.
Agreed. And so that brings us to one of my favorite parts of the show, and it's time for some AI shenanigans. Are you ready,
Oh, yeah.
Helix?
I'm always ready for AI shenanigans.
AI shenanigans, AI shenanigans. Look at all the silly things that AI gets into.
All right, Dougie, AI shenanigans. What's AI been up to this week?
All right, so for mine, I've got something for you called Mischief. Are you ready?
I'm ready for some mischief, always.
All right, so welcome to Mischief, which is making AI fun, personalization, creativity, and surprise into your group chat. So you ready for this?
Mischief. I didn't. Oh, that's more interesting. I got it.
Oh, you get it now. All right, so Mischief is a tool that allows you to put your face or anyone else's faces, and this goes, I guess, with our theme of MidJourney this week, onto any
Dougie,
of
where are you
these.
putting my face, man? I'm scared.
We can choose any of these things or search for our favorite one. So I'll just scroll through, see if you like any of these. We're
Ooh,
going to see how it
Seinfeld.
works. Let's do a Seinfeld. Okay, this is outrageous, right? But we now choose a file. I actually have my Helix folder already pulled up here. And so now I'm going to choose this very good looking photo of you and say, let's face swap. And it's actually pretty darn quick. You wait for a minute. And so there we got Helix with his awesome Seinfeld hair.
This is outrageous.
Pretty amazing, right? So,
That is
if
me.
you have favorite ones, like now let's do something. We could try another one, like
Can
a
we put your
dancing.
face on something for once,
Yeah, let's
Dougie?
do it. Why not? I think it could be fun to see what I look like as Ken. So I take that, I choose a file.
Oh,
I've got
boy.
on my desktop a version of me here.
So cool, man. So cool.
So there you go. Me as
So
Ken with a
cool.
beautiful head of hair. It's really, maybe I should grow it out.
I guess what follows would be that I put my face on Barbie, and then we can.
Hey, then we'll strap the VR to our headset. And weren't we strapping something else like
Yeah, we were strapping our dream analyzer to our heads, and the dream of us as Ken and Barbie is definitely one that needs some analysis.
Definitely, and probably that never needs to see the light of day or the light of the internet, that's for sure.
Okay, fair. Okay, so something really exciting has happened in the world, and that is that the traditional Japanese sushi harvest has finally been captured.
I've never even heard about this.
Let's share. So, Dougie, most people don't know this, but sushi, in fact, grows naturally in Japan, as you can see here. And it's that time of year when the sushi harvesters come and they take the sushi and they pluck it,
My
and they get it ready,
gosh.
and they ship it off for our delight.
So it seems like that whole thing behind the sushi bar is a total ruse.
It's a complete ruse, man. No, actually, of course, there is no such thing as a sushi harvest. I'm sure you've guessed. These are AI-generated images from a Reddit user named Rare Gianpaolo. I fell in love with this guy. He also brought us the incredible taco harvest, which, of course, perfect timing for Cinco de Mayo coming up. You can see here that they're
So
getting the
tortillas do in fact grow on trees.
tortillas off the trees. In fact, they do.
Amazing.
He also brought us this incredible image. Locals in Manila helped Gandalf withdraw money at an ATM.
I always thought Gandalf had to have some sort of little bit of a shady side.
We got Yodi B over here. This is Zuckerberg if he were actually Nigerian.
Wow.
And Valdemorgan Freeman. I love this guy. I'm kind of obsessed with him now. So if you want to check out his account on Reddit, you can find it right here.
Yeah, and so there's a lot more information you can find in the show notes. If you like this, please subscribe, like the video, share with friends, comment if you want to be part of our next mailbag grab bag. And Helix, what else you got to say?
Special thanks to our sponsor, Doubtify.
Doubtify, thank you.
No doubt. And we'll leave you with one of our signature quotes, this time from President Bill Clinton.
Well, back in my day, the most complex decision-making system we had was a game of rock, paper, and scissors. Now they're talking about AI making policy decisions. But honestly, with an AI president, I guess there'd be a lot fewer scandals. In a pinch, you could just say, I did not have digital relations with that algorithm.
Well, President Clinton, glad to know that you did not have any relations with that algorithm.
Thanks for your honesty, Bill. And thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
We're simply the best. Helix on the mic with insights to cost. Dougie with the facts coming at you fast. Together we decode the future's vast. In the world of AI, we're unsurpassed. The Intelli-Gents with every play. We navigate the AI fray. Join our pod, be our guest. In the AI talk, we don't rest.
Doubtify, you're that companion by your side.